Okay, hello everyone. Okay, so the next program is a shipping charges program. All right, so a shipping company, a fast freight shipping company, charges the following rate. These are the rates. For £2 or less, it's $1.10, and so on. So the shipping charges per 500 miles are not prorated. So, for example, if a £2 package is shipped 550 miles, then the charges would be $2.20 for every. Over here it says rate per 500 miles is $1.10 for anything £2 or less. So for example, with this example he gave, the question gave here 550 miles, it's not going to charge you for the extra 50 miles that for the shipping miles. So for example, over here it's only for per every 500 miles you're charged $1.10 for anything £2 or less. So it's not prorated, meaning it's not going to charge you for the extra 50. It's not distributed. It's not going to charge you for the extra 50 miles over this. So it's keeping the program simple. So write a program that asks the user to enter the weight of a package and then display the shipping charge. So it doesn't matter. You just say that when you're displaying the output, you just say that for every 500 miles, this object that weighs this number of pounds is going to cost this amount. I think I'm talking too much and overcomplicating things. So let me just get straight to the program, and maybe it'll look simpler that way. All right, so I'm going to start by creating the class. I'll call it shipping charges. And then the main method. Oops, what did I do wrong? Yeah, what's that? Okay, so since we're going to be accepting input, I'm going to use one of the input options. For the previous program, I used the J option pane. For this one, I'm going to use a scanner. I'm just choosing just for this program. I can use the J option pane, but I'm using the scanner for this one. So to do that, I need to import it and give this program access to the scanner class. So import java.util.scanner. Okay, and since we are using a scanner, we need to create a scanner object so we can use it. So I'm going to create a new scanner object, and it's going to be scanner class. I'm going to call the object scanner. It's going to be new scanner, and then I'll connect it to the system.in method, which is going to which basically serves as your keyboard. It's going to accept in byte information and then connect it to the scanner object. Okay, I hope I said that right. Yeah, I think so. It's going to basically take in the input that you type in here and connect it to the scanner object. Yeah, basically. All right, so now that we have the scanner, we can use it. So first thing we want to do is ask the user to enter the weight, because the program says write a program that asks the user to enter the weight of a package and then display the shipping charges. So let's just ask the user to enter the weight. So system.out.println. All right, so please enter the weight of the package. And we need a place to store the weight. So we need to create a variable to hold that. So I'm going to go ahead and create the variable right under the scanner object we created. So this is going to be the weight is going to be an integer, because all the weight given here are integers. So we're just going to create an integer value for that, or an integer variable to hold that. So you can create a double if you want, but because all these values are integers, that's why I'm creating an integer variable. So int, I'm just going to name this user weight. For now it's nothing. So user weight is going to store whatever the user types. And since we created the scanner, we can use it and say take whatever is stored in whatever the user typed and convert it to an integer. Use that with next int. So user scanner, take whatever the user typed. When you call this, it's going to pop up a text box. The user is going to type in the weight, and this is going to convert whatever the user typed into an integer and store it in user weight, so we can use it in calculation or in testing. So now that we have the weight, we can check to see how much it's going to cost for shipping for that package. So we need to start from here, 2 pounds or less, anything weighing 2 pounds or less. So we need an if statement for that. Oops. Yeah. All right. So if we have the user weight, so if user weight says 2 pounds or less, so if user weight is less than or equal to 2 pounds or less, anything 2 pounds or less than or equal to 2. If that's the case, then we want to say that the shipping charge for that package is going to be $1.10. But we need a variable. We can obviously just display it, but let's store it in a variable so it looks organized and nice. Okay, so I'm going to create another variable. No, this is going to be a double because these are $1.10. So I'm going to create a double variable for that, and name that shipping charge. So if the user weight is less than or equal to 2, then the shipping charge, the variable we just created, is going to be equal to $1.10. Okay. All right. So I'm going to create an else if condition, an else if block. So if the user weight is not less than or equal to 2, then that means it's greater than 2, right? Yeah, if it's not less than or equal to 2, if it's not 2 or less, then that means it's greater than 2. So for all the numbers that are greater than 2, see, it says over here, it says over 2 pounds, but not more than 6 pounds. Anything over 2 pounds. If it's not less than or equal to 2, then it's over 2. But we don't want all the numbers over 2. We want all the numbers over 2, but also not more than 6. Okay, but also not more than 6. That means that we want to include 6. 6 is fine. So if it's not less than or equal to 2, then that means it's greater than 2. We don't want all the numbers greater than 2, so we want all the numbers greater than 2 here. Not all the numbers greater than 2. We want the numbers greater than 2 and also less than or equal to 6. I hope I didn't confuse you there. Okay, so let me say one more time. So if the user weight is not less than or equal to 2, then that means that it's greater than 2. And for all the numbers greater than 2, if it's not less than or equal to 2, then that means I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this clear. That's why I'm repeating myself over and over again. Okay, all right, sorry about that. I'm just trying to make it clear so that just in case anyone is confused, the person understands it. If the user weight is not less than or equal to 2, then that means it's greater than 2. So for all the numbers greater than 2, we want the numbers also less than or equal to 6. So that's going to give us anything greater than 2 over 2 pounds, but not more than 6. Less than or equal to 6. So it's not more than 6. It's greater than 2, all right. It's over 2 pounds, all right, but it's not more than 6. See, less than or equal to 6. So we've been able to narrow it down to that range. That's all I wanted to say, and I've been talking like that. I'm sorry. Okay. I just want it to be clear. All right. So in that case, then the shipping charge is going to be $2.20. So shipping charge is going to be $2.20. Okay, I'll try my best to not talk too much too, and I just try to go to the point. And I'll still explain, if I feel I'm not being clear enough, or I'm not. People might still not understand it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll just explain it to if I feel it's not clear. But if it's bothering you that I'm doing it too much or I'm talking too much, please feel free to skip through. I'm just doing this just because I just want it to be clear for those of you, or for anyone who doesn't understand it, or anyone who for anyone that it's not clear to. Okay, so sorry, that was a long talk. Anyway, let me go straight to it. I sometimes get in this mood all the time, just trying to talk about some of these things just to make it clear. Anyway, all right. let me go back to it before I keep on talking. All right, so if the user weight is not less than or equal to 6, okay, so if the user weight is not less than or equal to 6, then that means that it's greater than 6. Okay, so I'm going to create another else if here. Put a space in here. User weight. Okay, so if the user weight is not less than or equal to 6, then that means it's greater than or equal to then that means that it's greater than 6. Okay, if the user weight is not less than or equal to 6, that means it's greater than 6. And for all the numbers greater than 6, over here it says over 6 pounds, but not more than 10 pounds. All right, so if it's not less than or equal to 6, then that means it's greater than 6. So we have those numbers. But for all the numbers greater than 6, we will also want the ones not more than 10. So that means we want anything greater than 6, but also less than or equal to 10. Okay, if it's not less than or equal to 6, then that means it's greater than 6. So anything greater than 6, but also less than or equal to 10, is over 6 pounds, but not more than 10 pounds. So we've covered this range too. So this is what I was trying to explain, and I kept on talking and talking and talking. It's just because, forgive me, it's just because I just like to make it clear. Okay, yeah. So if I'm doing it, I'm overdoing it, just forgive me, ignore me. You can skip forward. But if it's helping you, then I'm happy. All right, so that's all I was trying to explain earlier, and I kept on talking like that. Anyway, all right, so if that's the case, then the shipping charge is going to be $3.70. $3.30. Okay. Yeah. All right. And now the last condition is this: over 10 pounds. If it's not less than or equal to 10, if the user weight is not less than or equal to 10, think about it. If it's not less than or equal to 10, then that means that it's greater than 10. So we have it. We can just put an else clause here. And then we've been able to narrow it down to that range, over 10 pounds. Or we can say that we can be very explicit and say that else if user weight is greater than 10. You can do that. Okay, you can do that. Right? If anything over, you can be explicit and do that, because we've narrowed it down. Over here we said if user weight is less than or equal to 10, then do this. But if it's not less than or equal to 10, that means that it's greater than 10. So else if user weight is greater than 10, then the charge is going to be $3.80. But we don't necessarily have to put this here, because if the user weight is not less than or equal to 10, okay, if it's not less than or equal to 10, then that means that it's greater than 10. So we can just put an else clause here, because anything that's different from these conditions is greater than 10. Okay. Yeah, anything that is not less than or equal to 2, okay, not less than or equal to 6, not less than or equal to 10 is greater than 10. Okay. All right. So in that case, then the shipping charge is going to be $3.80. All right. So as far as I'm aware right now, yeah, I think it's correct. I think I got the ranges correct. If I said anything wrong, please let me know, or just if you understand what I said wrong, then try to fix it, or you can ask me, or you can hint me. But as far as I'm aware, I think this is right. So now we've been able to narrow it down to all these ranges. We've gotten the shipping charges for each of them. All we have to do now is just display the output, or just display the shipping cost for what the user is going to type. So that's all the program was asking. It didn't want us to type in any miles. It didn't say we should type in how many miles or anything. It's just saying display, per every 500 miles you're going to pay this. You're going to pay this. It's a very straightforward. It doesn't want it to be complex. Very straightforward. It just wants to test our understanding of if-else statement. Okay. So let me not make this program long, like the other programs I've been making all of them long. But again, like I said, it's just to help, or just to try to explain to anyone who's not having it clear. If you know it, just go ahead and feel free to skip through. Again, if it's helping you, I'm happy. All right. I don't know. Maybe I think today I'm talking too much. I'm in a talking mood. Anyway. Alright, so now let's just display the output. I'm going to use a system.out.printf method because I want to format it. I want to print it and format it. So printf, that's what it is for. So if you don't understand the printf, how to format strings well, this can seem very confusing, but if you learn a little bit about it, it'll be okay. But I'll try to I'll explain it too as I'm writing it, just so you understand how I'm writing it like that. Okay, so I'm just going to say for every 500 miles, for every 500 miles, you're going to or let's say your shipping charge will be, and I'm going to put a placeholder percentage F for float. And what's the argument that's going to replace this percentage F is going to be shipping charge. Right, but we need to format it, this shipping charge. We need to format it because we want it to be we want it to be a dollar value. We're going to put a $sign in front of this format specifier. We're going to put the $sign in front of this whole. These two characters form the format specifier. F stands for float, and this shipping charge is going to replace this placeholder. We're going to put a $sign in front of it because we want to round it to 2 decimal places. Already it's the values are already fixed and they're rounded to 2 decimal places. But I'm just doing this because just in case these values were different, or they were really specific, like that. I don't know. I'm just saying, just in case they were like that, then the rounding we're going to do here will affect it. So, but now they are already formatted to 2 decimal places, so it's fine. But I'm still going to do it just so we also take something or learn something from format specifiers. So because we want to round it to 2 decimal places, I'm going to put a 0.2 in between the format specifier, in between the percentage and the F. 0.2 for rounded to 2 decimal places. 0.2 means rounded to 2 decimal places. I'm putting it between the percentage and the F. Okay, that was the placeholder, so the 0.2 goes in between them. And because we want to separate them with commas, for example, if these were real dollar values, let's say like this, we wanted to separate them with commas. But these are exact values, and they wouldn't need a comma because it's only $1.10. It wouldn't really need a comma. But just in case this program was like that, then doing this one will help us learn something, or for those who didn't know, help us all learn something from format specifiers and make the program more efficient. Just in case you change the values or you wrote a program later on, you learn something from it. So I'm going to just do it that way. So 1, we want to put a $sign in front of it. 2, we want to round it to 2 decimal places by putting the 0.2 in between percentage and F. 3, we want to put a comma, where necessary, and we do that by putting the comma right before the precision, right before the 0.2, just after the percentage sign. And now we've formatted it nicely, and we're done. So this is all I wanted to do, and I've been talking like for 10 years straight. Anyway, so yeah, yes, we're done. I'm going to go ahead and compile it. Software sales, that was the one before. Challenges. Okay, so I'm going to create a new folder for this one. I'll call it shipping charges. All right. Okay, looks good. All right, so I'll save it here, and it compiled nicely. All right, so I'm going to run it. It's going to ask me for the weight of the package. So if it's 2 pounds, then I'm expecting $1.10. Okay, so I'm going to write 2, and it says for every 500 miles, your shipping charge will be $1.10. Okay, now realize that when we were storing the values in shipping charge, we just put $1.10. We didn't put the $sign in front of it here. I mean, you can't even do that because it won't work, because this is an integer, and it will complain because you're putting a $sign in there, or even a decimal because that's an integer. I mean, sorry, this is a double. It will complain because you're putting the $sign in front of it, but not the decimal. Not the decimal. The decimal is fine because it's a double, but it will complain because you're putting the $sign in there. So the reason why we are getting this $sign is from the format specifier here. Okay, now let me show you why I did it this way. Now, just in case this shipping charge was 1,000, let's say 10,000. I'm going to compile it again, and I'll run it. Now I'll put 2 again. Now look at how it's going to format this based on this format specifier. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter here. See, because we formatted it nicely, it knew where to put a comma in the first place. It's rounded it to 2 decimal places and put a $sign in front of it. So if I change this to if I just add a few more digits, significant digits after the decimal, and I change this to round it to 3 decimal places, it's going to round it to 3 decimal places here. Okay, so I'm going to run it again. I'm going to put 2, and you see it's putting a comma, putting a $sign, and rounding it to 3 decimal places. So that's the power of the format specifier. So I'm going to take this back. I'm going to take this back. It's $1.10, and take this back. So that's why I did it that way. So yeah. So forgive me if I've over-explained. I like to do that because I feel it's helpful. But again, you can skip through it if you know it already, and if you have all your questions answered from this program. If it's helping you, then that's great. Feel free to watch it. I don't mind it being long at all. And if you have any questions, sorry about that. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'm actually done with classes for today. I'm in the library. I just finished making this video. Going back to the dorm, get ready for tomorrow. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time with the next program. Take care. If it's nighttime, have a good night. All right. Bye-bye.